Okay, good day everyone. Today is July 8th, 2026, and we're scheduled for the pre-bid conference for contract ID number 25GG0247. Please be informed that this activity is being live streamed via YouTube on the DPWH Second DEO Procurement LS channel. And before we begin, may I request everyone to stand for a short prayer.
Dear Lord, we are gathered today to conduct matters of business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our task may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of guidance today. Amen.
So let me introduce to you the members of the Bids and Awards Committee present in this afternoon's pre-bid conference. Yours truly, the back chairperson, Engineer Jermaine Sem Dequilla, the back vice chairperson, Engineer Ernesto de la Riarte, a back regular member, and Engineer Mark Gerald Penuela, back provisional member. So with the Bids and Awards Committee in quorum, I hereby call this pre-bid conference to order. Let's start with contract ID number 25GG0247. Construction, completion of multipurpose building, phase 3. Barangay Poblacion, Anilao, Iloilo. Location is at Barangay Poblacion, Anilao, Iloilo. Scope of works, completion of multipurpose building, evacuation center, which includes architectural works, structural works, plumbing works, and electrical works, as per approved plans, POWs, and standard specifications. The approved budget for the contract is 49,500,000 pesos. Contract duration, 275 calendar days. For the deadline for submission of bids is on July 21, 2026 at 10 a.m. and the number of copies of bid proposal. The bidder shall submit one original and 2 copies of both the first envelope containing the technical component of the bid and the second envelope containing the financial component of the bid. Place of submission of bids is at the bidding room of DPWH Second District Engineering Office, Balabag, Dumangas, Iloilo.
Reminders. Section 17.0 of Bid Data Sheet. Only authorized liaison officers whose name appears on the contractor's registration certificate, CRC, with the presentation of her ID duly issued by its construction firm shall be allowed to purchase and submit/drop bidding documents. Eligibility requirements. Class A documents. Legal documents. Valid field GPS registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages, as per GPPB Resolution Number 15, Series of 2021. Technical documents. Statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules with certificate of acceptance. Reminders. Submission of SLCC. Single largest completed contract. The bidder must have completed an SLCC that is similar to the procurement project to be bid and whose value, adjusted to current prices using the PSA consumer price indices, must be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid, provided that any change to the 50% requirement may be allowed, subject to the recommendation of the procuring entity, which shall be submitted to the GPB for consideration, provided. Further, that contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience on the procurement project to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the allowable range of contract cost of their registration based on the guidelines as prescribed by the PCB. The SLCC shall be supported by an owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor. Eligibility requirements. Class A documents. Technical documents. Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board, PCB license, or special PCB license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. Original copy of bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and validity period, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration and project requirements, which shall include the following. List of contractors' minimum material testing equipment as per DO 11, series of 2017. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement, OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary's certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. Organizational chart for the contract to be bid. List of contractors' key personnel, e.g. project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen, to be assigned to the contract to be bid, with their complete qualification and experience date. List of contractors' major equipment units, which are owned, leased, and/or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor/vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be. Reminders. Construction heavy equipment operators should have certificate of training issued by the Technical Education and Skills Development, TESTA, in compliance with DOL requirements for the approval of Construction Safety and Health Program. Required upon issuance of Notice of Award, subject to DO 98 Series of 2014, submission of Construction Safety and Health Program approved by the DOL. Moreover, to ensure safe and healthy working condition for all workers and strictly enforced compliance of Deep WH Department Memorandum Circular No. 33, Series 2025, this issuance serves to inform all concerned of the provisions of DOL Department Order 252, Series of 2025 entitled Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations of Republic Act No. 11058, otherwise known as an Act strengthening compliance with occupational safety and health standards and providing penalties for violation thereof. Eligibility requirements. Class A documents. Additional requirements. Latest General Information Sheet, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information, BOI, duly stamped and received by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, for corporations. Reminders. Submission of updated GIs. All contractors or a corporation enrolled or applying for enrollment or updating in the Civil Works Application, CWA, to submit their latest General Information Sheet, GIS, duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and reflecting the beneficial ownership information, BOI. Likewise, contractors are reminded to submit an updated GIS annually or every time changes or amendments are made and filed with the SEC to ensure their information remains valid and consistent with official records. All concerned were advised to comply last December 31st, 2025, to avoid delays or disqualification from future procurement activities. Eligibility requirements. Class A documents. Financial documents. The prospective bidder's audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total and current assets and liabilities, stamped received by the BR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. The prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, NFCC. Reminders. Submission of NFCC. Net financial contracting capacity. The computation of a bidder's NFCC must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid, calculated as follows. NFCC equals current assets minus current liabilities, 15, minus the value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects under ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts yet to be started, coinciding with the procurement project to be bid. The value of the domestic bidder's current assets and current liabilities shall be based on the latest AFS, audited financial statement, submitted to the BR, duly received or proof of submission to the BR. Eligibility requirements. Class B documents for joint venture. Valid joint venture agreement, JVA. If applicable, Duly signed joint venture agreement, JVA, in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. Note: for manual submission of bids, the technical documents is preferably book-bounded. The contents of technical documents is preferably numbered / paginated consecutively in the right-hand top margin and signed below page number by duly authorized representative for both manual and electronic submission of bids. Any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient document in the required checklist is a ground for outright rejection, non-complying of the bid. Submission and receipt of bids. Contents of the second envelope, financial proposal. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. Original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. Duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. Cash flow by quarter. Note: for manual submission of bids, the financial documents is preferably book-bounded. The contents of financial documents is preferably numbered / paginated consecutively in the right-hand top margin and signed below page number by duly authorized representative for both manual and electronic submission of bids. Any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient document in the required checklist is a ground for outright rejection, non-complying of the bid. Submission and receipt of bids. Common reasons for rejection of bids: ineligibility and post-disqualification of bidders. Failure to submit the original copy of the surety bond certified by the Insurance Commission indicating the name of project, the procuring entity, and name of contractor. Shorter bid validity and bid security validity period. Overlapping of pledged equipment and committed key technical personnel. Failure to indicate the validity of bid in the bid form. Late submission of bid. Failure to submit supporting documents, e.g. certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor / vendor for the duration of the project, if equipment pledged is to be leased / purchased. Negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project, or negative slippage of at least 10% in each two or more contracts. Unsatisfactory CPS rating. Submission and receipt of bids. Common errors in the submission of bids. Single proprietor. Signatory should be the owner / proprietor only. Corporation / cooperative. Board secretary's certificate and board resolution. Joint venture. Joint venture resolution or agreement. Partnership, as indicated in the Articles of Partnership. Bid security. Bid validity period. 120 CD from the date of submission of bids. Bid security validity period. 120 CD from the date of submission of bids. The bidder shall submit a bid securing declaration, or any form of bid security enumerated below. A. Cash or cashier's / manager's check issued by a universal or commercial bank. Amount of bid security not less than 2% of the ABC. B. Bank draft / guarantee or irrevocable LC issued by a universal or commercial bank. Amount of bid security not less than 2% of the ABC. C. Surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security. Amount of bid security not less than 5% of the ABC. Bid evaluation. The financial component of the bids of each past bidder shall be evaluated using non-discretionary criteria, including arithmetical corrections for computational errors, and thus determine the correct total calculated bid prices. The BAC shall automatically disqualify any total calculated bid price which exceeds the ABC. The following factors are to be considered in the evaluation of the bid prices. Completeness. No price in required item non-responsive. Indicating a 0, 0, or a dash, hyphen symbol, free to the government. All prices are deemed to include all taxes. Bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable BOQ, shall be considered non-responsive. Arithmetical corrections. Bid prices in figures versus words. Words prevail. Total price per item versus unit price per item. Unit price prevails. Total price versus actual sum of component items. Actual sum prevails. Unit cost in detailed estimate versus unit cost in VQ. VQ prevails. If above ABC, disqualified. Post-qualification. Verification, validation, and ascertainment of statements made and documents submitted. Legal requirements, licenses, certificates, permits, agreements, and exclusion in any blacklist. Technical requirements. Key personnel minimum work experience requirement should be satisfied. Availability and commitment of major construction equipment. Failure of the prospective bidder to state a complete technical description of the pledged equipment and the specific location, whether owned, leased, or under purchased agreement shall result in the bidder's automatic post-disqualification for award of contract and forfeiture of its bid security per DO number 58, series of 2012. Performance in ongoing government and private contracts. Negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project or negative slippage of at least 10% in each of two or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works and complete ongoing contracts in the prescribed date after receipt of the notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance in the prescribed date after receipt of the notice of defects and failures. Substandard quality of works or unsatisfactory performance per contract per conditions at the term of inspection. DO number 127, series of 2018, strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of the post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. Authenticity and correctness of bid security. Financial requirements. Bid price proposal and NFCC. Notes on the personnel and equipment requirements of the project, as per DO number 09, series of 2012 technical requirements for civil works projects for public bidding. If a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the same time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that 1. The personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and 2. She will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications, as certified by the head of the implementing office. The bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that she will work for the bidder if it is awarded the contract under bidding. These certifications shall be included in the first envelope of the sealed bid. Also to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should specify in the submitted bid the location of the equipment where they can be inspected. If any equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. Contract award. The contract shall be awarded to the bidder whose bid has been determined to be the lowest calculated and responsive bid, LCRB, as a result of the detailed evaluation and post-qualification conducted. Contract award should be made within the bid validity period. Subcontracting is not allowed. Reminders. Implementation of ISO 9001:2015 certification requirement for large A, medium B, and medium A contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of the department. All procuring entities within the department are required to include ISO 9001:2015 certification, or its latest version as applicable, as part of the project requirements in the bidding documents for infrastructure projects. This requirement applies to bidders classified under the following Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board, PCB, size range, and are participating in the department's procurement of infrastructure projects with approved budget for the contract. ABC range to wit. For large A, more than 300 million, but less than 450 million effectivity January 1st, 2025. For medium B, more than 150 million, but less than 300 million effectivity July 1st, 2025. For medium A, more than 30 million, but less than 150 million effectivity January 1st, 2026. Reminders. Accreditation of asphalt and Portland cement concrete batching plants. In order to ensure that only asphalt and concrete mixes of the highest quality will be used in all public works and highways projects, the Bureau of Research and Standards, BRES, is hereby authorized to accredit private asphalt and Portland cement concrete batching plants, following the guidelines as per D.0253 series of 2003. Effective April 2004, only concrete and asphalt mixes produced by duly accredited plants shall be used in DPWH projects. Payment of non-refundable accreditation fee based on the rated capacity of the plant, which categorized as follows. For asphalt cement concrete batching plant. For category small, rated capacity, tons/hour, below 50. Accreditation fee, PHP, 3000.00. For category medium, rated capacity, tons/hour, 50 to below 100. Accreditation fee, PHP, 4500.00. For category large, rated capacity, tons/hour, 100 and above. Accreditation fee, PHP, 6000.00. For Portland cement concrete batching plant. For category small, rated capacity, tons/hour, below 50. Accreditation fee, PHP, 3000.00. For category medium, rated capacity, tons/hour, 50 to below 100. Accreditation fee, PHP, 4500.00. For category large, rated capacity, tons/hour, 100 and above. Accreditation fee, PHP, 6000.00. Standard bidding documents. Annex A. Bid securing declaration form. Omnibus sworn statement form. Performance securing declaration form. Bid form for procurement of goods/infrastructure projects.
So any questions, clarifications regarding this afternoon's pre-bid conference? Hearing none, I hereby call this pre-bid conference adjourned. Time is 2:46.